All right, my name is Jason Odom, and I've done my ISE 410 course project on mHealth. We're just going to jump in it right quick here. What we're talking about, mHealth, is just a version of telemedicine. And basically, the M stands for mobile, meaning that any kind of mobile device that you can use in healthcare, and you'll see that later. Jumping right in it, chapter 5, page 119 in our course textbook, touched a little bit on telemedicine. And now on the right, you can see the different types of telemedicine. Quick definition is it's the use of communication technology to deliver medical care to a patient in another location. Basically by using any type of video equipment, video conferencing, phone calls, landlines, or cellular, still images, specifically to teleradiology, nursing call centers where someone can kind of call in, request help, or caregiver help, or even e-health, including patient portals, basically just meaning electronic health. Real quick, just touching on one of these specifics on the right, telecardiology, is we'll see that this can entail having patients constantly monitored by an ECG sensor that can store data and or transmit this data to a 24/7 cardiologist. Moving on, just a brief history of telemedicine. In 1900, you got the telephone, and physicians were among the first to adopt its usage. When World War I started, all of a sudden we've seen an emergence in radio communications, and these radio communications were quickly adopted in remote areas to transfer medical information, such as Alaska and Australia. Moving on, in 1989, we had our first interactive telemedicine system developed by the Medphone Corporation, and about a year later, they introduced what was called the MD phone, and this was basically a cellular phone or mobile phone that was used for doctors. On the right, you kind of see I would say the architecture of a telemedicine system and its inputs. Moving into mobile health, or mHealth, we see it's a practice of medicine and public health supported by mobile devices. Today, when we talk mobile devices, the first thing that comes to mind is cellular phones, mobile phones, and in particular the smartphone. But we also need to remember that it could be a PDA, it can be like the device pictured at the top, which is a V-scan portable ultrasound device, basically a electronic stethoscope. Found this on a website, and the doctor that's using it and implementing it says, why listen to a heartbeat when we can see the heartbeat? And then when we move down a little bit to the picture right below it, we see a little bit more advanced system. This is called the Transport AV, or Audio Video Wireless Ambulance Monitoring System. It's just a monitoring system that is attached to the stretcher, and through sensors it starts recording data, just your normal data. If you'd walk into a clinic, or the first thing that an ER would take from a patient, and it's already transferring that data to the hospital. Moving on, this is another architecture of a system. This is basically a telecardiology service. What you see on the left is your patient and your type of patient. Well, there's a home patient, a mobile patient using a smartphone, or your primary care clinic where your patient actually walks in, downloads data that has been collected, and it's all sent through some type of internet network, then stored either in the patient database, reviewed by a cardiologist that may be on call 24/7, or either passed on again through the internet to specialists, other cardiologists, or back to the patients or administrators who are running the system. Another one, this takes the patient, takes all the sensors and puts it very close to the patient in what's called the body area network through use of smart garments. You can see the sensors located throughout located on the body throughout using the clothing. The wireless body area network is used by the smartphone, with all your data being transferred to the smartphone and then sent through the cellular network to its receiver. And as you can see on the right, there could be multiple receivers. Finishing up here just with some barriers to adoption. One is cost. Cost is always going to be something that's key in adopting new technology. Then you're looking at target group familiarity. What group are you targeting? Are they going to be familiar with the technology? Can they use the technology? Do you have to educate them on the technology? Are they going to be able to troubleshoot it? If something goes wrong, do they have to come back to the hospital or the clinic to have it fixed? And that kind of leads into hardware maintenance and software updates. Can they perform the maintenance on these devices if it's just like user error, sort of say, or if something breaks, what type of time is going to be put into maintaining the device, and then how are you going to get the software updates to the devices. Smartphones are pretty easy. You can do it through like the App Store, but a device such as an echocardiogram monitor, if it is worn on their hip pocket or something like that, what if a piece breaks? Then they got to come in and take time out of their day for the device to get fixed. Then one of the kind of overlooked but really important is battery life. If we're using a smartphone to transfer data from the body through the internet to a receiver, what if the smartphone dies? Is that data that it's recording in that period going to be missed? Yeah. Can you make it up? Who knows? And what if something, an emergency situation happens in that period where the battery is dead? That's one of the things to think about. That also kind of transfers into the seamless autonomous operation of a smartphone or a device that is talking through the internet. Is how's it going to be transferred? Is it going to be real time? Is it going to have a delay? And then what if the network goes down for anything from natural disasters, storms, or say the network's being worked on and it's down for a little bit, and any of that data that is lost in that time, how are we going to retrieve it? How are we going to help our patients in that time? Again, this was a real quick introduction into mHealth, which is kind of a division of telemedicine. Again, I thank you for your time.